Welcome to the show where ideas meet intrigue, where the unveiled thoughts are given a louder platform. This is your host, Moon Mukherjee, and you're watching The Loud Lounge. A very warm welcome to the show, The Loud Lounge with Moon Mukherjee, where ideas meet intrigue. Here today in the studio, we have a very, very special guest, a lady who's kind of very close to my heart, Mona Hussein Ali. Mona is not just a research scientist, she is also a painter, a designer, and a beautiful mother of a doctor. Mona, let's hear about more of who the person Mona is. Welcome to the show, Mona.
Thank you, Moon. So glad and so humbled to be in your show.
Thank you
Really,
for being
thank
there.
you so much. Yes, I originally come from Sudan, but lived most of my life in the UK, so really I'm British. I'm the owner and founder of Naturally Number One Cosmetics.
Wow.
Which is a factory here in Dubai to manufacture skin and hair care products without any chemicals or chemical preservatives.
The natural way of not doing Botox.
Exactly. I don't do any of that, I'm afraid. So, yes. And then painting, of course. Painting has been a hobby of mine. Since very young, really.
Wow.
Yeah.
How's the journey been like? I do not understand. A research scientist in microbiology, a mother of a son who's a doctor. So she's done a stunning job being a doctor. And then she's a very educated woman and then a painter. And now she's launching her fashion collection also, hand-painted abayas. How so much things together? How did you put it? Where did the journey begin? Who was Mona when nobody knew Mona?
Yes, it's, I can understand what you mean. It's quite complicated. The thing is, I was lucky because I had family support, to tell you the truth.
Wonderful.
So I did my degree and then did the normal thing, got married, had a child. And to tell you the truth, rather than me going to work, I decided to dedicate my time to my son upbringing.
How wonderful.
Yeah, I didn't want a nanny bringing him, so he was all, yes. And thank God, he's up, he reached a PhD level, so he's a doctor, and he's lecturing now at University College London, which is brilliant.
Mommy did good.
Yeah. Yeah. And then in between, of course, I would do my little things that I like.
Okay.
Painting whenever I can, trying to exhibit in the UK. I entered a few competitions for art.
Wow.
Yeah, and then as time flew and I was sure my son was all secured. Oh. Then I came to what I really want to do, you know what I mean?
Then you pursued your passion.
Yes.
Wonderful.
Yes.
So Naturally Number One, what led to the birth of Naturally Number One? What made you feel like I need to make a line of cosmetics and hair products where I will make people look naturally beautiful? I think that's the main aim of it, right?
Absolutely. To tell you the truth, how it started.
Okay.
In the UK, when the wrinkles started to come, I was looking for a cream in the market which will help me.
All right.
But nothing worked for me. They either gave me spots or the wrinkles were still there.
Okay.
And then I thought to myself, hang on, I'm a researcher, and research really is my passion. So I thought, let me try and do it from home. So I was doing my own mixing and researching and improving and trying on people, family and friends, and then everybody loved my creams.
Wow.
So I thought, they work, so why not start the company?
How wonderful, how wonderful. I'm so stunned right now. It makes me feel like, okay, I mean, what does it feel like? Because we put up so much creams, but never ever in my mind crossed what is missing. And let me pull out my research feather from my bag and try to find out. And then I make the perfect cream for myself. Look at her face. She doesn't have wrinkles. I'm sure you try your products on yourself.
Oh, absolutely.
And let's not disclose the age because you'll be shocked to hear. So she doesn't look her age, and I can stamp on that. So the products are really working. She's gifted me a few of her products some time back. I will start using it
please.
very, very soon, and I will come with an honest opinion of her products, but I'm sure she's come up with something really, really gorgeous. So that's the Naturally Number One cosmetic products we are talking about.
Yes.
How about the painter, Mona? It's like it's a hobby, it's a passion, or you are someone who's having in-depth knowledge about painting as well.
To tell you the truth,
I did not like the painting, so I started painting. So I thought, why not be a painter?
to tell you the truth, I never studied art.
Wow.
You never studied art or went into science directly, but there was always that little passion since I was a child.
Right.
And the early years in Sudan,
Right.
I was like, the teachers, I guess, they found that I can paint. So whenever there was like an inspector coming to the history class,
Right.
the teacher would say, Mona, can you paint for us cavemen?
Wow.
And scenery for history. So I would do that, and it would be all over the class.
Wow.
So when the inspector comes, he's impressed.
Wow.
So a little bit by little bit,
Okay.
and whenever I had time for myself, I would paint.
I think painting is something very therapeutic, because I cannot claim myself as a painter, but my father taught me how to paint because he was a painter.
Yes.
That was his passion, banker by profession.
Yeah.
So he taught me how to hold the pencil and how to do the strokes of the brush. And it's really, really so liberating, so calming whenever, when I was young and was too bored studying. I remember I just used to take up my brush and pencil and scribble something, put some colors there.
Yes.
At times it's turned out to be
Yeah,
not
I'm sure
always.
you're good with the designing. Yes.
Okay, so that's the painter, Mona. How about the fashion designer, Mona? How does that come into the picture? By the way, before she says, I will tell, I have seen her collection. She mostly works with hand paintings behind abayas and mostly on wildlife. I've seen few of her work. Cheetahs, right? Tigers and cheetahs is what fascinates her. So I would like to know about a little bit more about that journey. What made you think, okay, I will convert this art into a fashion form?
To tell you the truth, whatever I buy, I find that if I buy a jacket in the market, I have to put my own touch to it. I always used to change my clothes.
Okay.
And people would be impressed. Like, yeah.
What did you do? What is different here?
I remember I bought, to tell you the truth, in the UK, I bought a simple white jacket.
Okay.
And then I drew like a zebra, two zebras at the back, and the zebra turns around. And I was wearing that at afternoon tea. And then there was this American lady, she just came and said, where did you get that jacket from? So it's things like that. I like to do that. So
my birthday is in April.
oh yes, absolutely.
My birthday.
With you, my goodness. I'll be humbled.
Like have a hungry cheat.
Whatever you like, darling. Whatever you like.
Wonderful, wonderful.
Yes,
so in a gist, if we come, like there's a small box and we put all the ingredients, painter, microbiologist, mother, fashionista, who's Mona? If I tell you, please combine all these feathers and make a bird. So who's that bird?
A collection of all, to tell you the truth. I cannot separate, It's wonderful being a mother, and I'm so blessed for my son.
That's right.
And I love lab work, so I'm really into the lab work, and I'm like in top of the whole operation. I have to be there myself. Wow. A passion for art has always been there. Passion for fashion has always been there. So it's amalgamation of all, really.
I heard, I do not know if the birds were chirping on the wrong note, but I heard you have a very, very interesting background. Mm-hmm. Do you want to talk about it?
Sure. It's interesting and funny at the same time.
Okay.
Originally from the Sudan, and my grandfather, my mother's side, was the first ruler of Sudan after the British. So the British handed it to him.
We have a royal blood here.
I don't know about royal. So he was the first chairman of the Supreme Council.
Wow.
And my father was in the army, of course married to my mom. And he made a coup on my grandfather. Yes, and took over. And that was the reign of Aboud, which lasted till 1964. So that's our background. story.
I'm scared now.
But they were best friends. They were best friends.
I don't know what to say.
Honestly, they were best friends. Although, you know, my father was sitting with my grandfather having afternoon tea. In the dawn, they made the coup.
Okay.
But then, and the funny thing is, my grandfather said, look, to my father, he said, I'm not upset with you, but when you did the coup, at least send me somebody with a high rank. You send me a little officer.
Right.
You know, that was the big complaint, you know.
Yes.
And then my father said, sorry, but we're so busy doing the coup. So. But they were best friends to the last.
Wow,
so,
wow. Touch wood.
yeah.
Good to hear. So now we are going to jump onto 10 questions, which I always do in my episode in Loud Lounge with Moon Mukherjee, where I shoot 10 tricky, funny, cute questions.
Okay.
Where you have to answer very discreetly, 1 or 2 words, or maximum maybe a sentence. Okay?
All right.
So my first question would be a mom, a scientist, a designer, one word that represents Mona as the person she is. Like if I have to choose one word as Mona Hussein Lee, what would that word be?
Tell you the truth, I don't want to be, but I am humble, but I guess multi-talented, multi-fit.
Absolutely.
Maybe.
And yes, a woman with a lot of colorful feathers at the same time. Absolutely. You do not have to be humble. I absolutely go by that. If Mona was to be a color, what color she should be?
Red is my favorite color.
I'm wearing a red.
Yeah, my favorite.
And why? Why is red your favorite color?
I don't know. It's like a vibrant color. It's full of life, energy. It gives me energy when I see the color red.
Wonderful. So, what does it feel? Suppose I get a life where one day I change to Mona. So, what does it feel to be Mona in her own life?
Very busy. Always keep busy.
The busy woman in the house. Yeah. Wonderful. Any inspiration for your designs? Because I've seen you mostly working with wildlife. Do you want to take a name, or we can just go very general if you have any inspiration?
We're really, maybe because I've been away from home, it's like Africa, the wildlife.
Wow.
That's what comes to my childhood memory. So in the middle of like rainy UK, I would be painting blue skies, bright sunlight.
But not to say anything wrong, I'm from the UK too. But I don't think of painting, I feel very gloomy.
That's why you need to paint in the gloomy weather.
It's too gloomy. I just like take my blanket and like watch Netflix. But see, that's a positive woman. Even in that gloomy weather, she pulls up a brush and ta-da, she paints blue. How wonderful.
Thank you.
Since you are a very confident, influential entrepreneur who's trying to make it big in this industry, and I'm sure you've come a long way through that, I'm sure you face a lot of not the right kind of people who try to take advantage of you. Do you want to say some wise words to the people out there who are watching, just as an awareness from our side? We're not going to take names, but just be some awareness message you have for the newcomers, because we being the veterans are also being conned, so I'm not sure about the newcomers. So any wise words for them?
I think just be careful who you're dealing with. Do your research before you give everything, or before you hand in whatever properties you have. Really, just be careful. Do your research. Know who you're dealing with. Look at the background.
True.
Yeah.
Do not go very hasty about it. I'm saying myself here, being in this industry for over 15 years, still, people are coming up with wrong documents also from the ministry, from the government. They're using names. So just be very careful out there, because they're targeting influential people here in Dubai. So please be careful. Do not be part of, their prey. That's all I think we can say over there. Okay, so what's the reason? Let's get back to something a
Yeah.
little less serious. Naturally, number one. Why that name?
The name actually plays on two things.
Okay.
It's natural, so it's naturally.
Okay.
And then number one, because we want to be number one.
Another positive approach.
We're not going to be number 7.
Naturally.
We're going to be number 1.
Wonderful, wonderful. And do you want to, before we end up this show, wrap it up, do you want to share any funny incident that, you know, at times when we are feeling low, we suddenly think of something and we giggle on our own selves like, oh, okay. And then you smiling to yourself. So any incident of that sort that happened with you that you remember of?
Yeah, actually, with the painting, you see, I entered a competition for the United British Society of Artists.
Okay.
And it said you can bring 6 paintings of which they will choose. I thought, okay, let me go for the competition, entered the paintings.
Okay.
And I thought, no, they're not going to choose me, you know, I have no background.
Humble moment as always.
And then I remember my mom, bless her soul, she said, I want to go to Egypt. I said, okay, let's go to Egypt. We went to Egypt, came back, found the invitation. All my 6 paintings were chosen to be premiered at the Westminster Gallery.
Oh my
And I missed
God.
the opening, so that's a funny story.
No, I know because I saw her paintings and I hope you guys come. I think by the time this would be aired, the show would be done. But please follow her page, Instagram page to know more about her products, to know more about her designs and her artwork. So thank you for watching and thank you,
May
Mona.
I say something?
Of course, please.
I just want to thank you, Moon. Really, really thank you for, you know, trusting my work, for giving a chance for startups like me. Really, it means a lot.
Come on.
Really.
She deserves it. I will not vouch for something that I've not seen with my eyes. That's why I said naturally number 1. You gifted me the products I haven't tried, but the painting I've seen with my own eyes, and I want that on my birthday from her. If she doesn't give, I will do another show. Why did you not give my birthday product?
It's going to be ready. It's going to be ready.
Thank you all for watching, and thank you, Mona, for being part of the show.
Thank you so much.
And we're watching The Loud Lounge with Moon Mukherjee.